Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast. I'm your host Alex and today's episode is one I know so many of you have been waiting for. We're tackling a challenge that almost all of us face, that moment of hesitation, that little voice of doubt, when you want to start a conversation with someone you don't know. Yes, we're talking about how to start a conversation with strangers. Now think about it. Strangers are everywhere. At coffee shops, airports, gyms, conferences, even standing in line at the grocery store. Every single one of them could be a new friend, a new opportunity, or even just a bright moment in your day. But the big question is, how do you break the ice without feeling awkward, weird, or forced? Well, today we're going to break it all down. The fears, the strategies, the little tricks that make all the difference. And to help me unpack this, I'm joined by someone who has truly mastered the art of connecting with people. She's warm, she's insightful, and she knows exactly how to turn that first hello into a real conversation. Please welcome my guest, Mia.
Hi, Alex. Hi, listeners. I'm so excited to be here, and I've got to say, this topic is close to my heart because I wasn't always comfortable talking to strangers. But once I learned how, it completely changed my life. New friends, new opportunities, and honestly, just a lot more fun moments in everyday life.
That's exactly what I love about this episode, because we're going to show our listeners that this isn't just about being smooth or outgoing, it's about making real human connections. And by the end of today's conversation, I think everyone tuning in will have not just the confidence, but also the tools to start talking to strangers in any situation.
Yes, and maybe even start to enjoy it. Because once you get past the nerves, it's actually really rewarding.
Beautifully said. All right, let's get into it. Let's start here. Why is it that so many people struggle with talking to strangers?
I think it comes down to fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of looking silly. Our brains are wired to keep us safe, and sometimes that means avoiding risk, and social risk counts.
Yeah, it's like our brain screams, danger! Don't embarrass yourself. Even though the real danger is basically zero.
Right. No lion is going to attack you because you said hi to someone in the coffee line. Worst case scenario? They don't respond, and you just move on.
But it feels big. That awkward silence, that moment when the other person doesn't smile back. People replay that in their heads for hours.
Exactly. And here's the funny thing. Strangers are often just as nervous as you are. They might be hoping you start the conversation.
That's so true. Sometimes when I finally say something, the other person looks relieved like, oh, thank goodness someone broke the ice. Okay, let's talk mindset. Because before we get into actual words and tactics, I think the mental game is the most important part.
Completely. I always tell people shift the focus away from yourself. Instead of thinking, what do they think of me? Think, how can I make this person feel comfortable, seen, or appreciated?
So it's not about performing, it's about connecting.
Yes! And when you approach it like that, it takes off a lot of the pressure.
I love that. Another mindset I use. Assume people want to talk. If I walk into a networking event thinking everyone's closed off, I freeze. But if I walk in thinking people came here to meet others, they'll probably be glad if I start. Suddenly it feels easier.
That's a huge one. Your assumptions shape your courage.
All right, now the juicy part. Let's get into openers. What do you actually say to start a conversation with a stranger?
So many people overthink this. They think they need something clever or profound, but honestly, the best openers are simple. Observations, compliments, or context-based comments.
Give me an example.
Okay, let's say you're in a coffee shop. You could say, "That pastry looks amazing. Have you tried it before?" Or, if the weather is dramatic, "Wow, it's really pouring out there. Did you get caught in it too?" Or even, "I love your shoes. Where'd you get them?"
I love that. Super simple.
Yes, because the opener isn't about impressing them. It's about starting the flow.
You know what I often use? Questions about the situation. Like at a conference, I'll say, "Have you been to this event before?" Or on a plane, headed home or headed somewhere new?
Exactly. Context is your best friend.
Let's talk nonverbal, because you can say the right words, but if your energy is off, it won't land.
Totally. Smile, open posture, relaxed tone. If you're stiff and your eyes are darting everywhere, people sense it.
One trick I use: act like you're already friends, like you're just continuing a conversation, not starting one.
That's brilliant. Because when you bring warm, friendly energy, people mirror it.
Okay, let's role play a few situations.
Fun! Let's do it.
Scenario 1. We're both in line at a coffee shop. As himself, "Man, this line is moving slow. Do you come here often, or is this just today?"
As stranger. Yeah, I come here all the time. It's usually faster. I think they're short-staffed today.
Oh, good to know. I'm debating if this Americano will be worth the wait.
It usually is.
See? That's it. A tiny exchange. But now the ice is broken.
Exactly. And from there, you can either keep it going or just let it be a friendly moment. Both are wins.
Let's flip it. What should people not do when talking to strangers?
Oh boy, a few big ones. Don't interrogate. Rapid-fire questions feel like an interview. Don't overshare immediately. "Hi, I'm Mia. Let me tell you my entire life story." Nope. Don't be negative. Complaining as an opener usually kills the vibe.
Yes. Nothing like starting with, "Ugh, this place sucks," right? That energy goes nowhere.
Exactly.
So let's say you've opened the conversation. How do you take it deeper?
Ask open-ended questions instead of, "Do you like this event?" Ask, "What brought you here today?" Instead of, "Do you like your job?" Ask, "What's your favorite part about what you do?"
Yes, that makes people light up.
And share a little about yourself too. Conversations are like ping pong.
Do you have a favorite story of meeting a stranger that turned into something meaningful?
So many. One time, I struck up a chat with a woman on a train about the book she was reading. Turns out she was in the same industry as me, and she introduced me to someone who became my mentor. That random, "Hey, how's that book?" literally changed my career.
Wow, I love that. For me, I once talked to a stranger on a plane who ended up becoming a close friend. We bonded over snacks of all things.
See? That's the magic.
Okay, for our listeners who want to go next level, what are some advanced tips?
Try mirroring. Subtly match their tone and body language. It builds rapport fast.
I use callbacks. If they mentioned something earlier, I circle back. Like, so did you ever figure out that thing you mentioned? Shows you listened.
That's huge. Listening is the secret weapon.
Let's not forget, starting conversations can look different in different cultures.
Yaszy! In some places, strangers chat easily. In others, people keep more to themselves. Always read the room.
Exactly, respect boundaries. All right, Mia, let's make this rapid fire round longer and juicier. I'll throw quick questions and you give me your first instinct answers. Ready?
Ready? Let's go.
Okay, biggest confidence booster before talking to a stranger?
Deep breath, shoulders back, smile.
What's worse, silence after your opener or being cut off mid-sentence?
Silence. At least being cut off means they were engaged.
Fair point. What's your go-to compliment for strangers?
Something specific but non-intrusive, like, "I love your jacket, it looks really comfy."
How about your most awkward opener ever?
Oh no, I once said to a guy at a bookstore, "Wow, that's a heavy book." And he deadpan replied, "Yeah, it's literally about war casualties." I wanted the floor to swallow me.
Oh wow, that's brutal. But it shows that even pros like you have awkward moments.
Absolutely. It's part of the game.
Alright, what's a place people think is bad for conversations but is actually great?
Airport gates, everyone's waiting, everyone's a little bored. Perfect time.
Yes. I've met some of the most interesting people while waiting for delayed flights. Okay, next. One body language cue that signals I'm open to talking.
Uncrossed arms, eye contact, maybe a little smile.
One cue that screams don't talk to me.
Headphones in, arms crossed, eyes glued to their phone.
Got it. Favorite conversation starter of all time.
"Hey, how's your day going?" Simple, universal, and opens doors.
Alright, last one. What's the dot? One reminder people should tell themselves before approaching a stranger.
They're human just like me.
That's perfect. So Mia, let's go deeper. We've talked about how to start, but what about keeping the conversation alive?
Great question. Because starting is only step one. What keeps the flow is curiosity plus listening.
So instead of planning your next line, actually listen to what they're saying.
Exactly. Most people don't listen, they wait for their turn to talk. If you really listen and follow up with questions based on what they said, the conversation feels natural.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say someone says, "I'm heading to visit my sister this weekend." Instead of just saying, "Oh, cool," you could ask, "Where does she live?" Or, "What do you usually do together?" Suddenly, they're sharing a story, and you're connecting.
That's so much better. Let's get nerdy for a second. Why do these little conversations matter?
Because humans are wired for connection. Even small talk releases dopamine. It literally makes us feel good. Researchers call it social snacking. Those tiny exchanges add up to a sense of belonging.
That makes so much sense. I always feel lighter after a good chat with a stranger, even if I'll never see them again.
Exactly. It's like a vitamin boost for your mood.
We touched on this earlier, but let's dig into cultural differences, because what works in one country may not in another.
Absolutely. For example, in the US, casual small talk with strangers is super normal. But in Japan, people may find it intrusive if you dive right in without context. In some European countries, people appreciate more direct, meaningful talk rather than, "How's the weather?"
So basically, read the room and respect the vibe.
Yes, and when in doubt, start light, gauge their response, and adjust.
Let's role play some tricky situations.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Scenario 1, you open with a friendly comment and the person gives you a one-word answer.
Yeah.
Yikes, now what?
Don't panic. You can smile, acknowledge, and pivot like, cool, I wasn't sure if I was the only one noticing that. If they're still closed, let it go. It's not about you.
Perfect. Scenario 2, you say something and they clearly misheard.
Oh, I said the coffee smells amazing, not that you smell amazing. That humor diffuses it.
Nice save. Scenario 3, you're talking, but you feel the conversation dying.
Time to exit gracefully. Anyway, I won't keep you, but it was nice chatting. End on a high note.
We can't ignore this one, rejection.
Yes, it happens, and here's the truth. Rejection is rarely personal. Maybe they're tired, busy, shy, or just not in the mood. It's not a verdict on your worth.
That's huge. I always remind myself, if they don't engage, I'm no worse off than before I tried.
Exactly. 0 to 0.
Let's end on a high note. Do you have a story where talking to a stranger led to something big?
Yes! I once complimented a woman's laptop sticker at a cafe. Turns out she was a graphic designer. We chatted, exchanged contacts, and 6 months later, she designed my company's entire branding. That one hello saved me weeks of searching.
That's amazing. I've had that happen too. One random conversation at a bookstore led to a collaboration that changed my career.
See? You never know.
That's a wrap for today's episode.
Yeah, remember, conversations don't need to be perfect. They just need to be genuine.
Exactly. So here's your challenge. This week, start just one conversation with a stranger. You never know where it might lead.
The world is full of strangers waiting to become friends.
And your next adventure could be just one hello away.
Until next time, keep the conversations going.